Hello friends, and welcome into our weekly update video. We are actually here in our nation's capital, live in Washington D.C. John, we've been here this past week for America Reads the Bible.
Yes.
You were able to read the Bible on Sunday night. Tell us more about America Reads the Bible.
Well, as you've heard, if you've watched our previous videos, we are super excited and really honored and privileged to be a part of America Reads the Bible, a reading of the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation during the week of this week, from Sunday morning until the following Sunday. And so there are about 475-ish individuals
Yes.
who are reading different passages of Scripture, and it is being broadcast across the nation, and part of the celebration of our nation's 250th anniversary and the recognition that our form of government, our founding fathers, and our nation was really built on the Bible and biblical principles. And so to be able to participate in the public reading of God's Word from Genesis to Revelation is really historic. It's super exciting and a real privilege to be able to be a part of that.
Absolutely. I love what someone said the other day, John. They said that our children's children will be able to watch this for generations to come. And it's beautiful how well it's tied into the 250th anniversary of our country. It's a momentous, historic occasion.
Yes.
And again, we've been honored to be a part of it. Yes.
Yeah, and you can learn more if you go to americareadsthebible.com. They have captured all of the readings on video, and so you can go to americareadsthebible.com and you can go back and watch
Yes.
the welcome celebration, which was Saturday night, and then the start of the reading, which began on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. And again, these readings will be taking place all this week from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. So you can also go to America Reads the Bible and actually watch the broadcast live through that website.
That's right. And you can go back and watch the archive footage of John reading this past Sunday night. We're shooting this on Tuesday of this week. In case you're wondering, we're here on Tuesday, and the North Carolina General Assembly short session starts today. In fact, in about 15 minutes from when we're recording this, at 12 noon on Tuesday, the North Carolina General Assembly short session has started. John, what can we expect as a result of the short session? And yes, tell us.
Well, it's hard to know. And of course, while Mitch and I are in our nation's capital, Jerry Royal is down at the General
Yes.
Assembly, our faithful
Yes.
warrior down at the legislature. So he's keeping tabs on everything back there. But Mitch, it's really going to be an interesting short session, as we have written about already, and there will be a link to that kind of preview of the short legislative session under the video here. But the big thing is going to be focused on the legislature actually potentially passing a state budget, which they failed to do last year. And so there's going to be a lot of discussions and work on the state House and state Senate coming to terms with their differences between their different versions of the budget, trying to work that out and come up with a budget. There are a number of veto override votes that remain on the House calendar, dealing with a variety of issues, including the elimination of diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, in state government, in public education, and in higher education, and also another federal tax credit for an educational tax credit, the ECCI. So we'll be watching the legislature very closely. Of course, the members of the state Senate Republican caucus have just enough votes to override the governor's veto and have already voted on a number of
Yes.
these bills, but they are all pending in the House. House Republican majority is one seat shy of a veto-proof supermajority, but there may be some Democrats who cross the aisle to vote with the Republicans to override the governor's veto. Time will tell, and there will be a lot of other activity that we will be keeping you up to date on throughout our weekly videos, our emails, and our action alerts. So keep your eyes open in your email inbox for those important updates.
John, we've been on the Hill the last 2 days with some substantive meetings with our congressional delegation, several members and their teams, and it's just been a great honor to serve with you over the last couple of days and sharing some of the things that we care about, that you care about with them, not just at a state level, but at the national level as well. And so it's been a great time here, and we're going to be coming to you later in the week, actually later in this video, video with a little more of an update of what's happened this week in the General Assembly. And so you can stay tuned to the rest of this video to watch that portion of what's happening in the General Assembly. So we'll kick it back to ourselves wherever we are next.
Well, and let me just say one more thing before we conclude this part of this episode.
Yes.
Having met with a number of our members of the North Carolina congressional delegation, Mitch, it's so impressive. We've got some really, really great folks serving in our nation's capital, representing our state. We're really privileged to have them here, and we need to do what we can to help support them, to pray for them, to uphold them in the work that they're doing, because they really do, although it sounds very glamorous, they really do make a lot of sacrifices on our behalf. And so we're so grateful and appreciative of their work, their hearts to serve the Lord in this place, and the partnership that they have offered to work with the North Carolina Family Policy Council and with you to do what's best for the state of North Carolina and our families. Absolutely. So a lot of really great conversations, and we're just really appreciative of the great work that our congressional delegation at large is doing.
Yes, very good. Well, stay tuned to the rest of this video and see what's going on in the North Carolina General Assembly. Hello friends, we are back from DC. We're actually here today at the General Assembly building, the North Carolina General Assembly building, with Jerry and Adamo, our research director and chief counsel. And it's been an action-packed week. You've been here the last couple of days here in the building. Tell us what's been going on.
As we had shared before, this is the beginning of the short session. And of course, there have been a lot of predictions about what might happen or might not. The biggest question is the state budget. Well, the first day, and maybe I don't get too much into details, but it was interesting. On the House side, they brought up 3 bills that the House had passed, sent back to the Senate. Senate made changes, came back to the House. House did not concur. This happened months ago, but that the bill was passed in a different version. And I thought, the first thing that's happening this week is the House is taking up bills with Senate changes and go, no, that's normal, actually. I say normal. That happens. It goes to conference committee. But I'm thinking, what does this mean? Can we read anything into that? Well, the second day, they came back, 2 bills with conference reports, which is where these bills go when the 2 chambers don't agree, immediately voted for in the House and the Senate for 2 conference reports. One of them, a very critical one, as far as the funding that's needed for Medicaid. The legislature's been telling the state, we are going to come back, we are going to properly resolve the budgetary needs for Medicaid, and they did that.
We heard some of that debate today on Wednesday.
That's right.
That debate was suspended. They recounted it for Tuesday, and they'll pick it up again next week.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
They did. And again, details that are hopefully helpful, because again, it's meeting the needs of Medicaid, but they also are trying to build in safeguards, because we've heard all around the country with the concerns about fraud and abuse of Medicaid dollars. They're trying to build in more safeguards for that. So the legislature is back. They are moving ahead with some important legislation.
Very good. Well, as John said, you can read our legislative roundup or our preview of the session for this short session on the link below of this video, and find out all of the things that are happening or hopefully happening for this coming short session. Adamo, you've recently written a piece in regard to the abortion numbers in North Carolina, what those look like and what we can learn from those. Tell our listeners more about that.
Yeah, sure. So some of the organizations out there, unfortunately not typically aligned with us, that do the research on abortion numbers, but that is our best source for this data. Some recent data, the latest data for last year has come out, and it's a good look at, good not in the sense that it's good news, but good in the sense that it's helpful information, at the landscape of abortion across the United States, and particularly in North Carolina, in this post-Dobbs kind of Roe is over now what world. And those of us who are fighting this, and many of you know that unfortunately what really seems to be happening is not, unfortunately, so much that the numbers are going down, is that the landscape is kind of shifting where it's happening, where it's coming from. And what we're seeing in North Carolina is that while we're grateful that we reined in some restrictions with SB 20, the 12-week ban is the least restrictive in the Southeast. So we actually are now a destination for abortion instead of a protection of life state right now, by the nature of the fact that Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, even as far away as Texas, people are coming here because their restrictions there are more protective of life than ours are. You can look at more data on that, where those people are coming from, what those numbers say. But unfortunately, the reality is that we have a long way to go to fight this pro-life battle to make abortion not only illegal but unthinkable, not just in North Carolina, not just in the Southeast, but nationwide and worldwide someday.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your thoughtfulness in the article you put together. Again, you can read that article right below this video. The link is provided. You can also go to our website, ncfamily.org, to learn more about that article, many of the other things that we're doing. As you can tell, the den is alive in the building, whether it's the 250th celebration and a really cool display, or the Senate and House chambers. They are back in, things are in full swing, and as you can see, we're right here in the building, making sure that you know what's going on and what you can do about it. So on behalf of Jerry, Adamo, and John, who was in the previous segment of the video, myself, Mitch, thank you for watching our weekly update video. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend. God bless you.